Trying to bring modern games to a retro audience is a little difficult, but I think Mario Maker really strikes a chord between the two very, very well. So I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games, and today I look at the 7 different kinds of Mario Maker levels.
Second Opinion Games.
First up is traditional levels. Most of the time they are just Mario running to the right as fast as possible. Generally, these are also good speedrun levels. There's nothing too crazy to figure out or to get in your way. You just have to keep moving. And they play smooth and are generally beautiful for it, and oftentimes are slightly easier than some of the other levels on this list. Second up, we have Gimmick Levels. Now, generally, Gimmick Levels are levels that take one aspect and repeat it over and over, slightly changing it from time to time and growing upon the gimmick, like Chain Chomps. There is a lot of different things you can do with the Chain Chomps, so just check it out. Lots of different ways to jump off of them and use them as platforms, and use them as enemies to avoid. Now, Gimmick Levels can be a little difficult from time to time, but usually they are easier. Sometimes not so. Sometimes they're a little difficult to figure out, and other times they are as straightforward as can be. This is a Gimmick Level. The third type of level we're going to look at are puzzle levels, and generally these are very puzzling. Yes, so the first thing we need to do is get a Buzzy Beetle so we can smash some blocks off to the side, because reasons, it's important later. We also need a helmet. Then we'll have to get a couple of coins, and when we get up to a white block, then we'll have to hold down for more than a few seconds, because there's a little Easter egg here. When you hold down on a white block instead of falling behind it, because Mario 3 rolls, instead you do the tiniest little jump so you could collect that coin. Then we just do a bunch of stuff. Basically, these puzzle levels are very complicated to figure out and require many, many tries of trial and error. They are all very difficult unless the puzzle maker himself is a 6-year-old. This is an example of a very difficult one-screen puzzle that will have you pulling your hair out. You're welcome. Next up, I want to say the auto levels. And now I don't mean traditional Mario auto-scrolling. No, I don't mean that at all. I mean levels that basically play themselves. They could be dope moves or simple run forward, or continuously holding a certain button or combination of buttons in order to finish the level. Generally, these are labors of love that someone tried to make the absolute craziest level that they possibly could and jam it into one space just to give your imagination something to run wild with. These levels are absolutely nuts, but they tend to be haphazardly thrown together with some trial and error to make sure that your character can actually live through it. But that's all it is, just holding a bunch of buttons or doing absolutely nothing until you reach the finish line. These are the auto levels. Now we have music levels. Music levels can be awesome. Sometimes little kids make them and they just sound like screeching, horrible sounds. But in this case, it was actually made by a real-life composer, and it does a terrific job. Now, sometimes music levels are simple auto levels that you just sit and watch, and it plays the music and plays itself. And sometimes they're mixed up with a little bit of a Kaizo Mario theme, making a very difficult Mario Maker. Now, all the music that you hear is custom, so you know what? I'll shut up and just listen and let you watch me play it. It's pretty darn good. Our seventh and final type of level is the dreaded Kaizo level. Now, in Japan, the word Kaizo just means rearranged. However, in America, it took on a whole different meaning, as it means super freaking difficult. So the Kaizo levels, generally, you have to run from left to right as fast as you can with increasingly difficult stakes. This is the bane of Mario Maker. Some people make the absolute sickest levels possible in order to claim the right to say that they have the hardest level on all of Mario Maker. They generally involve a lot of spring jumps and pow jumps and turtle jumps and all these other crazy things that go on just to ruin your day. Sometimes you have to get hit at certain spots too, so it is really a collaboration of all the different types of games all shoved into one, and it is extremely difficult. If you could ever beat a Kaizo level on your first try, you're generally a liar, because it doesn't really happen. Now, most people put a ton of time into their Kaizo levels. Like this one right here, it is just freaking sick with gameplay. And me, myself, I can't beat any of these levels, honestly. So I had to adopt some help from a foreign entity. Now, all these levels are extremely good and awesome, but the Kaizo level clearly takes the gold. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. So, remember when I said that I didn't do any of the gameplay in this video? Well, I didn't. This guy did. Thanks a lot, buddy. Now, Mario Maker is clearly one of the best examples on how to take gameplay that is tried and true and a little old-fashioned and make it into something new. And is probably the best game ever made for it. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching.